Hey everybody, welcome back to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Birkenhof. Now a while back I looked at a 16x map. I think it was called corn something, and I really wasn't that impressed with it. It looked kind of blah, kind of boring. And then we had another 16x map come out that was based in Australia. I have to say I can't really remember the name of that one either. But now we have Birkenhof, and this is yet another 16x map. But what really struck me when I was looking at this one was the level of detail that this map had compared to other 16x maps. So I wanted to show it off and profile it. So here we are. So this map can be found over at maru.net, and there will be a link to the map forum post in the description. We're going to do away with our Gator and our Jeep. They're both a little bit too slow, and we're going to go with our Dodge pickup. But to be quite honest, we're not going to really drive around too terrible much. There are several trains on the map, and the way the trains are laid out, just driving all the trains will take a fair bit of time, but it will also explore a very large portion of the map. This map is also a production map, so you don't only have big fields and lots of driving around to get around. You've got lots of production things to do also. So as you can see, take a look at all those fabric scripts that are loading up. We still need to wait. This map is big. It does take a while to load up. So it's just something to know. Now, as far as file size, this map is shockingly not too big at just 900 and some megs for a production 16x map. Just gonna kill some time here. This map is German based, so lots of the stuff on the map is written in German. If you are not someone that is overly confident and comfortable in reading German, then you may want to also look at running this map through a translation system. So I have done a video quite a while back in the how-to section on how to translate a map. It basically goes over how to go into the map XML and modify the cell points so that in the escape menu they show up as something that is understandable. And then it also talks about how to go in and modify some of the screen texture files to translate those. All right, so we're here. This is where we start out. This is our, I guess, our farmhouse. And one thing you'll notice is there is a ton of space here. There's going to be more than enough space for any extra placeables you may want to add to the map. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Something else that takes a very long time for a 16x map is for it to load up in the PDA. So you can see we have all our standard crops on this map, including sugarcane, and we own fields. And to catch up for us, we own fields 27, 28, and 29. Okay, there are a total of 54 fields on the map, and some of them are quite large. We'll take a look at some of those here in a little bit. We have several sell points on the map that accept all of our crops. There are two BGAs, a BGA North and a BGA South. I believe that is South. There are two train exclusive sell points. We have a sell point for liquid fertilizer, and I believe this is solid fertilizer. We also have fuel production. No sell point for fuel. I guess this is water. I'm not really sure why that's showing up there. Seed production, so we can sell seed or wool. Nothing particularly listed here for, this is forage, and one of these is forage, one of these is power food, I guess. Here's chaff. trees, I'm not really sure there. Wood chips, several wood chip sell points. A couple sell points for silage and several sell points for your bale work. And then we have, assuming this is flour. Again, I really wish when you could hover over these things, they told you what they were. We have bread. We have, I don't no idea what that is, but this place will buy it. Figure out, assume what that might be. Well, it looks like we have sunflower oil and potentially a couple other types of oil here. Cardboard boxes, pallets. I don't know what that is. I really wish in Farm Sim 19 they would implement something where if you hovered your cursor over it, it would tell you what the heck things are. We got what look like sugar cubes, cheese, homogenized milk, and I guess that might be raw milk and that might be homogenized milk. Then we've got, this is, that's just a pallet. This is a wool pallet. This is linen. Okay, and this is a meat, like the castor processing. We have molasses. Not sure what that one is. It kind of looks like soap to me. And we have barrels, something. Looks like an acorn, but I certainly we're not making acorns. And I'm assuming this is possibly compost there. So lots of production available on the map. So our starting equipment is fairly small for the size of this map and the size of these fields. And a lot of it is old. Ditch this stuff fast because it is going to eat you alive in daily maintenance. And let's go ahead and take out a loan so we can buy some animals. All right. And speaking of animals, we have all three animal types on this map: sheep, pigs, and cows. And our silo has a capacity of a lot. I'm not even going to try to count those. That's a lot. Okay. Let's drop down to real time. And let's jump over here and kind of explore this industrial farmyard. So the first thing you'll notice is we've got two train lines that cut across the farmyard. These are nice little storage racks for pallets of things, I suppose. Cool. We have the maintenance shed. Storage. So here we have two ferment silos. So straw, and you will get silage out of here. Same with this one. And then we have over here two silos that we can fill our trains with, and one silo that we can fill from the tipper. Now, all of these are interconnected. So here's your main dump point. These doors will lift up. This will tell you what is in this particular silo. And there you go. That's what's in the other silo. These are both interconnected. There's only one dump point. But basically you can fill either train line or a trailer from the silos. You have over here storage for fertilizer, solid fertilizer, and storage for seed. And this would probably be storage for liquid fertilizer. Interesting enough, we don't start with a helicopter, but we already have a helipad marked out here. And fuel indicator for our helipad. We have our chicky chicks in here. We have our pigs. Go. Pretty standard Farm Sim 17 area here. We got our water. Got our straw trigger. And we have our food trigger. Right there. Back around the corner again, we have our solid and liquid manure. And we have a pig food maker. So we can make our pig food. So this will take our earth crops like sugar beets and potatoes, cereals, which would be wheat, barley, and our proteins, which would be canola, sunflowers, or soybeans. And I believe this is our cow area. Buy up some cows. So we had our water trough right here. Go over here and check. There's a food trough or grass trough. Of course, we have our liquid and solid manure. We have our, what I call the silage feeding trough. It's also where you can put your straw. Then we have a silage bunker for the cows. And then over here we have a power food mixer or a TMR mixer. The power food mixer, we will bring silage, grass, and straw in here, and we will get our power food out the side. Let's go ahead and finish up our animals while we're here. Sheep are just down here. We have our grass trough, our water trough. We have our delivery point for our sheep. And we have the wool spawn point right there. Also on this main area, we have a power washer or a vehicle drive-through wash bay. Several storage sheds here. We do have aircraft on the map. There is an active airport that has vehicles landing and taking off. Then here we have what appears, let me just see. I'm guessing that this is a bale sell point. Yes, so here we have a hay, straw, and grass sell point. Then where we can bring up our loose material, I suppose. So unlike our typical first impression videos where we drive around, we're not going to do a lot of driving around because this map is ginormous. Okay, let's take a look at the starting fleet. Talked about the starting fleet, but we never looked at it. So we have 3 tractors, the New Holland 8340 and 2 Case 1455s, 125 and 145 horsepower respectively. Got the 1660 axle flow with the grain header, small Metaltech tipper, and it takes all of these extra things. Got a cultivator, the Great Plains seeder, pickup truck, and a pair of Scorpion Kings. So let's just tab over to the Scorpion Kings. Okay. So we are now here in the bottom portion of the map where we do have a train system. And we're going to go ahead and take this train around. Well, actually, We're going to take the trains in the order that we can tab to them in, simply because I don't want to get lost and end up taking the same train twice. So here we are at the second Scorpion King, which is a second designated forestry area, and it's just a little bit north of the first forestry area. To add to some of the detail, we got this really awesome looking decorative train. That thing looks really nice. Wouldn't mind having that as the main train that drive around. So let's go ahead and jump in our first train. See right away we have animated lights here, and we are, just show you where we are on the map. We're down here in this area right here, and we're gonna take a ride around the train, and we're going to try to come back to this point, and then we'll kind of explore this area itself, and then we'll jump around to the next train. Go ahead and take off. Well, we do have vehicular traffic, and it does stop for train crossings. So that those red things that we just drove through, that's what I call a transfer station. And the transfer station allows you to basically transfer crop to the train. So along this line, we've got a nice lake, and we have an animated boat just driving around. The particular facility down there, that will allow you to make solid and liquid fertilizer as well as compost. Here are fields 35 and 36. Let's look at how vast the field is there. And how easily, if you just pulled a train up here to the side of these fields, you could easily load up this whole train probably without too much problem. So here we are pulling into our farmyard through one of our two trains that drive through. And we're going to go ahead and veer off here to the right. You see these white lines somewhat represent the train lines. And thankfully this train's been, I think it's been cranked up a notch. It moves at 86 miles an hour, so it moves a bit faster than I think the normal in-game trains do. I think they only go at around 55. Here we got, so some of the detail, we've got a barge in the river. We've got a vehicular bridge right beside the train bridge. Here we have a large pad for placeables. Now we're on a kind of a raised area. So here we have another one of those transfer stations. It allows you to dump from the road and fill into the train. Because clearly it's going to be a lot faster to drive around the map in the train lines than it is to drive around in trucks. Take a look where we're going. I like how right here the train and the road, which are parallel, kind of take a snaky wind here through here. Very easily it could have just been a long straight path, but I like the fact that we've got some bends and curves in the road. Let's take a look. There are also, we may not see it right now, there's also some animated trains that come through here to be on the lookout for. Got a little town here with what looks to be a sell point. So if you were going to run a big multi-place server with lots of folks in it, a lot of the time, this could be a really good candidate for a map because it is huge and it's got lots of stuff to do. And if you've got the help to basically do these huge fields, then you might as well take advantage of it, right? Here we have another placeable area. We have a train transfer hub to, again, store grain as well as also transfer it from road-based transport to track or train-based transport. I have to say, I think this is one of the longer lines. We are pretty much going around the entire map. We're coming up to a dock, and we've got these huge, I think that's a cruise ship that's in the dock. Get a better look of it here in a little bit. How big these fields are. Given the size of the map, even the oh, there's one of the animated trains, an express passenger train. Even the grass areas, which don't look that big. Here's our airport. We have a jet coming in for a landing, taking off. I don't see it. So the North BGA is off there in the distance. Here we're coming up to another one of those train transfer hubs. So we were at Transport Hub 4, and now we're going by Transport Hub 2. You know, another thing that I like on the map is we've got elevation changes. The other 16x maps that we looked at, they had some. The corn harvest, corn belt. That was it. That was the name of it. It was named Corn Belt. It had some pretty good elevation stuff, but it really, in my opinion, was really lacking in overall deco. It was mostly just blah trees randomly here and there, not a lot going on. There was a fair bit of decoration around maybe the hilly areas and stuff. There was a kind of a valley with there's the jet taking off. Big, massive placeable area right there. You could put a whole city of placeables right there. I think there's about 4 or 5 trains that run through here. And we're going to try our best to run around most of them. Again, this one appears to be going around the full width of the map, so this train is going to have the longest run. Imagine playing this map with the Loco Drive add-on in, so you actually had all these trains were running around the map, you know, on their own accord. Here we have a train sell point, and we had a train transfer station there. You also take a look at the road. The road's got some really nice cracking and weathering details to it. Really nice bridge work, and there is a really nice bridge in here somewhere. We'll See it now? We're getting ready to go through a tunnel. Let me zoom in. In cab, we've got a tunnel that we're going to go through. Now we are literally going through the mountain. And we're about to pop out on the other side. And boom, we're out. So there, we just drove through the mountain there. Switch over. Really great track work, I think, on this map. Just switched through over 2 whole tracks over to this line. There's that huge bridge. That is a train bridge that we're going to be going on. Look at that thing. That really looks a lot like the Platinum DLC map bridge, doesn't it? So is this map for everybody? No, it's definitely not. Is this map for me? Probably not. You know, for fun we might throw it up on multiplayer just for fun. But you know, it's a map for somebody, and I really thought it was a really nice map. Nicely well done, given the sheer size of this thing at 16x. I felt that it deserved a little time on the channel, so I wanted to bring it in and kind of show it off. There's the South BGA. Get out of the trees. There's the South BGA over there, and we are coming up on the where we started at. We are almost done this particular train line, and then we'll jump into another one. Well, this map is seasons prepared, so if you did play this map with seasons, I can only imagine the frame lag as it loads up and does all of these growth and texture replacements. So the map is seasons prepared. We're gonna go ahead and cut the engine, let it slow itself down. Feedy here. Another animated tram line over here. Running. Wondering if that's that would be cool if that was a train that just randomly started and stopped and took off. I don't know if you can program that in, or if basically animated trains, just like cars, are just non-stop. That would be cool. We've got ourselves a bus station in here, or train station. Pretty neat. So we have milk. I think that says milk cell. Down here and check it out. Apartments here. Traffic circle with a big bubble. Church. I mean, look at this great detail in this town here on this ginormous map. Really, really, really nice. We got a jet flying overhead. Alright, so let's jump back into that second train. Here's the second train, which we passed fairly early in the first train's tour. First train was on the right tracks. Now we're on the left tracks here, going through our main farm area. And we've basically come around. We've switched back over to this track, and now we're kind of looping around the main farm here. Now we're going to kind of cover the south east of the map. There's our animal dealer off there, and then there's the cash store. That's the animal processing plant. Coming through a couple more sell points. One of the train transverse little buildings. Got a pallet factory, looks like. Another production. So the production on the map. So production areas and non-sell points are typically in white. And then your sell points are denoted in the yellowish color. Just if you didn't realize that or you didn't know. I don't remember if either of the other 16x maps that I've seen, that I haven't necessarily profiled, but I've seen, I don't know if any of the other ones have traffic on them, but we definitely have traffic on this map. We have another one of those train transfers. Now, this does not take out of the train. It only allows you to put into the train. Bridge here. And now we're basically on our return loop back up to where we started. Another large placeable here off to the left. There's another one of the animated passenger trains that are running through the map. Now, one thing that I really wish map makers would do that mess with these giant maps is put in lots of fields, but lots of small fields. We're going to check out here, and we're going to look. You know, the smallest fields I think on the map are the fields that we own, 27, 28, and 29. And they're probably still pretty darn big in comparison to like a 2x map, which is a normal sized map. Here we are. We're coming back around to that the lake that we had the animated boat on. Crossover. Got a fisherman out there too in the boat. Pretty cool. But what I was getting at is I'd like to see a huge 16x map with lots of little fields. you know, fields of normal size. You know, quote unquote normal size. With respect to here's where we got off and kind of ran around that little town area. Looks like we're gonna come up here and we're gonna make a right, I suspect. There's that. We've almost caught up to that animated passenger train. Here comes another train down the other line. Yeah, we do have. Way cool. Look at that. We got all kinds of animated train traffic here. Another BGA. Another train-only sell point. A big area for placeables. Are we going to catch this guy before we turn? Are we going to catch him? I think we will just catch him and then we will turn away. Oh, look at that. That was pretty cool. So, what I was saying is I wish they would make a big map with lots of normal-sized fields so that you could play it without having to incorporate like 10 harvesters or incorporate the massive unrealistic equipment or the equipment that runs at some massive speed that's not really realistic. But still have the ability to play on a huge map that gives you this sense of vastness. That if you're going to go sell crops, you know, you're going to head out maybe in the morning, and if you play at 5x, you know, it might be midday before you finally get back to sell your crops. Something that takes a substantial amount of time to get around, but still it doesn't take, you know, a year of your life to harvest, you know, your first crop, and you end up you have to turn off withering because there's no way you can actually harvest the crop in time. Some of these fields on this map are like 300 and some hectares, which is ridiculous in size. Trying to maybe use one harvester to harvest a field of that size, that would be outrageous. So I think we're coming back around to where we started, because our main farm is directly above, or directly in front. So we'll just cut this one off, and we'll tab over to the next train. Alright, so let's go ahead and see where this one goes. On out, let's take a look and figure out where we are. Okay, so now we're up north, and there is the big boat. That's kind of like a cargo ship, because it looked like you could drive underneath of it. Here's another. Oh, that's a big old passenger express train, it looks like. Now we're going to go kind of drive around the northeast area of the map. And just seeing what we got going on here. I really like the use of these, I guess the trams with the power cables on the top as kind of alternate trains. We've got several different, visually several different types of trains here on the map. Now we got a little different perspective of that town that we drove by on the first train. And the first time around we were on the raised track there to our right, and now we're over here. The track that's running more along the northern edge of the map. I guess now we're along the eastern edge of the map. So this is train number 3 that we're on. Field 22, which is to our right, and it doesn't look that big on the map, but if you look at it in real life there, I mean, it's huge. Same with field 21, which is now over here on our left. Field 21 is still pretty darn big. We're going to jump around to some of these fields once we're done driving our trains. And then once we do that, we're going to kind of jump around to some of these sell points just to see them. Like I said, we're not going to do a whole lot of driving around and just looking at general things because we're kind of going to let the train rides do that for us. There's a placeable spot that we saw on our first train. If you remember already, coming through the train bridge there, right beside the auto bridge or the road bridge. Our big river there. Looks like we're going to make a turn here and maybe run down along the river. Okay, we're going to run down across the river. Okay. And now this train is running the opposite direction through our farm. So we have multiple trains sharing the same track. So this might be interesting if we do put in the loco mod. What happens? Can trains collide with each other, or do they magically not have any collisions? Because there are definitely times where these trains are sharing the same track. Oh, here comes some traffic. Is that jet? Let's see. Can we get up there? No, we can't get up to the jet. So this map is done by the same guy that did a map I call Saxonia. That might be not the right pronunciation, but that's how I've been pronouncing it. And on that map, he had a military airport that had fighter jets and had all kinds of military vehicles guarding the airport. So it's nice to see the use of the airports here on this map also. Here we're coming through a cell area because when we come up there, these things tip up. So bring like a wheel loader up there or a side tip trailer and tip right into the grain cart. And it looks like, okay, we're going to turn here and make our way back up to the north to where we started with this particular train line. So these are some pretty long running trains. There's the, that's the tunnel. That's the mountain that we had the tunnel in. If I were to be a little critical, I'd like to see where these roads transition to dirt or to field, that they transition a little better than to just have the pavement stop. That would be pretty cool. I'm gonna cut this off here because I want to go check out this. Oh, no, this is the wrong one. That's not what I want to look at. Thought that was the other port. The other port we want to look at is up there by Hotel Magnus. So let me know, guys, what do you think of this map? Is this something that you would even remotely attempt to think about playing? Imagine playing this map on something ridiculous like 24-day seasons with 1x speed and in multiplayer. There we got a another cool passenger train. You could really use courseplay like crazy on this map, and now that courseplay works with multiplayer, you could really take advantage of that. Coming up to where we started. Then we'll jump to the 4th train. Oh, here comes the jet in for a landing. Just does a little touch and go. There he goes. Now he's taking off again. I think that's where this train was. Now we're down here in the forested area, and instead of a grain train, we have a log train. We'll stay nice and low till we get out of the trees here. And this is the train that I'm pretty sure runs this cool bridge. Yep, looks like it runs the bridge, goes up and around, and comes back. Let's just look across here. This is easily going to be our highest perspective of the map. Look at this massive field 50. Oh my goodness. Let's think how much, and is that sugar beets in that field? Can't see, but it looks like, I mean, oh, imagine how much, oh, you pull like 8 billion liters of sugar beets off of that field if it was sugar beets. Now this train runs at a slower rate. This train's only running at 51 mile an hour, whereas the other trains were going at 86. So let's get in cab here. Let's just get down a little bit lower. Zoom in a little bit. Now we're over to the other forested area, where the other Scorpion King is. we're just doing a big loop, and then we'll be back down that same bridge again. Let's just look out over the map a little bit. I wish the Giants default like sky wasn't so hazy looking. It's always so hazy, it seems. How awesome this bridge is. Alright, so that's basically the fourth train. Where's it going now? Okay, it's probably gonna, yeah, it's gonna come up here and make another little loop. Run another forested area, and then we'll come around here where we can sell some logs. We've got a log crusher here that will make wood chips. Got a log sell point, or wood chip sell point. Got fuel and a big storage building. All right, so let's go ahead and jump to check out train number 5. Oh, that's it. So it's just 4 trains. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 4 trains on the map. And let's start jumping around to some fields. So field 11 is clearly the biggest field on the map, right? Field 11 is 325 hectares, $26 million. And if you can manage to slurry this whole field, which will only take 689 minutes, if the tractor even has that much fuel in it, you'll earn $220,000. Let's go around and check out this other field. Field 10. Field 10 is 200,000 hectares, $16 million. And there's no way in Earth you will ever have enough fuel in this harvester to harvest this mission for 1,600 minutes. Even if you were able to harvest this in half the time, 800 minutes, you're not going to get $522,000. But, just that. So let's check out, field 3 looks pretty small. Comparative. It's 30 hectares in size, $2.4 million. Here, let's go check out Hotel Magnus. Let's make our way around and just check out some of these sell points. Hotel Magnus with a really cool sign here. Wish it had a collision on it. Couldn't walk right through it. Dump point for Hotel Magnus. It's EKZ. EKZ looks like maybe a big grocery store. Parking deck. Parking deck up here. There's your sell point. Look at these, oh, got a auto dealership here. Roasted chicken food truck. It's a Lamborghini. It's a Ferrari. Like a Lamborghini, but maybe it is a Lamborghini. Sorry. Got some exotic cars on this map. Dorfbacher. I think these guys make maybe bread. Let's see. Yeah, they make bread. I don't know what they take in because I haven't taken German for a really long time. I think the last one may be sunflower seeds. I don't know. It's probably like sunflower oil. And if I were going to play this map, I would go through and I would be translating the heck out of stuff. A little low res on those buildings, but still pretty cool details across the whole place, I think. Here is one of the unloading stations. So the way this works is you would drive up here and you would dump your grain. This would store some amount of grain in it, and then you'd drive up your train, park it under here, and you'd fill up. You could dump from your train and store into here also, but there isn't a dump, a fill to fill out onto the road. So here's another one of those stations. Now this one does have a fill out the road and the train. We have, I think this is where we can sell our seed. Canola in here. Interesting. Canola. Sunflower and soybeans go in here. I guess we get soybean oil, sunflower oil, and canola oil maybe out of here. That's what that's supposed to do. Bring empty pallets and boxes in here. We have another one of those unloading stations. Rum distillery, maybe. Interesting. So there's a whole lot of work going on over here. We're going to be sell point. This particular sell point takes eggs, and I guess this is a grocery store. Look, we got little grocery carts. Can we move these? Oh, another food truck. This guy's selling chicken, bratwurst. I don't know what that is. He looks like he's he looks like a grill master. So guys, let me know what you think of the map. I think it's pretty cool. Obviously I wanted to show it off to you guys. I thought it was pretty cool. This is where you would bring in your this is where you would get your, this particular facility will make, there's a sign. It's over here. So liquid manure digestate is your input, and you get liquid fertilizer, solid fertilizer, and compost out of this facility. So I think it's a pretty cool map. I think it's got lots of really great details to it. I think it's obviously been a lot of work in progress, because it takes a lot to obviously put this much stuff in and everything. So I wanted to show it off because I thought it really deserved getting some visibility in the channel, and maybe somebody will be crazy enough to try to play this in a multiplayer environment. I think that'd be pretty cool. Get a whole bunch of guys in here and take like 3 days to harvest one of these fields. Let's take a look at some fields. At field 20, that's small. 16 is 48. Let's look at field 20. Field 20 is 21 hectares, and see how how big it is compared to field 27, which is right here. But let's just let's get a little aerial look of field 20, 28, and 29. Those are the fields that we own. They're still pretty big fields. There's probably still 7 and 8 hectare fields. You know, if not bigger. Given the fact that, what was that one? Was 20? Was that 20? The shop is right there. It's right across the street from your big industrial farm area. All right, guys. So I'm not gonna, I guess, continue on with really not much to say. Just wanted to show you this map. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it had really lots of good details based on the size of the map and everything. So let me know what you think. And until next time, happy farming.